Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. Thank you very much for tuning in here at the Football Terrace. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're hitting the share button. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace right now. Go into the link in our description below. Sign up to our newsletter. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. All of that is inside the link in the description below. I hope you're all well, though. It's a big thing for me. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all good. We're here to talk a couple of big stories that have circulated today. I want your views. I want your opinions. I want to know what you're thinking and what you are feeling. Hi, Chelsea fan. Hope you're good. I hope you're well. Daniel here says your headline is gassing me. Well, listen, it's what I've heard. It's what I've been told, and we're going to delve into that in a little bit more detail. First story today, the big one, Ed Woodward is supposedly leaving. By the way, we're going to take your Skype calls tonight. How you call Skype? Just look down there, the little thing, that side. No, it's that side. There it is there. Just make sure you search that. Skype, Football Terrace FC on Skype. You can call in, have your say. Ed Woodward is supposedly leaving Manchester United. That's what we're being told. That's what's being said. But I want your views. I want your opinions on this. I want to know what you're thinking and feeling. On the other side of the spectrum, Ollie. Reportedly, Ollie is close to losing his job again. That's what they want us to believe. That's what they're telling us. That's what they're selling to us. But as always, I want to know what you think and feel in relation to this. I really, really do. But make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you're smashing that share button as well. Very, very important to the Football Terrace that you get that done. It truly, truly is. Football's returning as well. It's another story I wanted to delve into. Up to 4,000 fans or 50% of the capacity for Tier 1 and 2,000 or 50% for Tier 2 for the winter COVID plan. So football fans are returning as well. Lots of excitement on the way. Lots of things going on. But listen, we're here for the next hour or so. We're here for you. Make sure you're hitting those like buttons, those share buttons, those retweet buttons as well. Let me know the stream's coming through. We're using a slightly different piece of technology this evening. And we're also going to be moving away from StreamYard fairly soon as well, purely because we're having problems with it. Lots of issues with the streams coming through there. So we're going to have some new things on the horizons for you all very, very soon indeed. But what I really could do with all your help with right now is hitting that like and that share button, etc., etc., etc. I think United are leaking the Woodward story to keep fans happy. That's what Ian has said. You know what, Ian? I hear where you're coming from with that. And I kind of believe, I'm kind of on your side on that, bro. I kind of believe you on that. I do think that's true. I do think that's true. I think there's a bit of BS. I think there's a bit of nonsense in it. It isn't something that I personally find myself believing in. If I'm being completely and utterly honest right now, it just doesn't feel right to me. Whatever it is, Woodward leaving doesn't feel right. He's a shareholder at the football club. He owns quite a lot. He has a lot of money invested. The only way he's leaving is if he's got a new job himself. Like, this isn't the Glazers sacking him. The only way he's leaving is if he's gone and got himself a brand new job. That is it. Point blank as far as I'm concerned. There's no other reason for this guy to think about leaving. 110%. That's it. That's it. I can't say much more than that. Can't say much more than that. From my point of view, that's the only way he's leaving. That's the only way that it makes sense. And I wouldn't even call that I wouldn't even call that leaving. Do you get where I'm coming from? That for me isn't leaving. That for me is like getting another, like, well, it is leaving, but the way they're trying to make it sound is as if the Glazers are going to get rid of him, and I don't think they're going to do that. We've got a new setting tonight. We're using a different piece of software, so any super chats that come up should automatically come up on the screen on this side next to me. So if anyone does super chat, we'll see if it actually works. I'm hoping that it does. I'm hoping that it does, but we will see. I never know if these things are gonna work until someone actually tries it. But there we go. Monsar here says, Boris Johnson announced Ed Woodward is getting a pay rise. Did he? Fair enough. I didn't open the can properly. But yeah, I don't think Ed Woodward is leaving at all. That's my opinion on that one. I've got to say it as I find it. I don't think he's leaving one little bit. Not one little bit do I think he's on his way out at all. Chad here says, Terry, no notifications. Listen, you're not going to get notifications very much anymore from YouTube. That's why you need to just refresh this page. We're going to get a proper schedule done, though. So you're going to know what time every day we're going live. We're going to publish it weekly. The newsletter is going to share that with you as well, so you know when we're going to be going out, when we're going to be going live, etc., etc., etc. So I've seen a super chat come in, but I've seen nothing pop up on the screen. See, why is it not working? That's the big question for me. I don't get it. No, it shouldn't be. It should be popping up, but it hasn't. Why hasn't it? It should do that. See, that's a tester, right? Your one should do that, but it hasn't seemed to want to do it. See, I haven't bought this tech. It's part of the software program, but there we go. So it didn't pop up on the screen. Why? That's the question. Why? I don't know the answer. But there we go. Definitely didn't work, which is annoying, really, because I don't get why it wouldn't work. The settings don't say the same, though. I change it. I add settings on this, and then it all disappears. That's annoying and largely frustrating. I don't know what to do about it. That's a shame. One more try. Hit the like button, guys. Thank you, Monso. I appreciate you doing the super chats for us anyway and supporting the Football Terrace. Thank you. Did you know the next historical EPL team player tiers is coming out? It's going to probably be on Friday. Time issue more than anything else, if I'm being completely honest with you. I was thinking of doing it tonight, but we're testing out a few different pieces of software. So soon, I hope. That should be coming out pretty soon indeed. Is there a manager that can win the league with the same team without backing from the board? Is there no, it's impossible. No manager can win anything without the backing of the board. Yeah, it's not happening. 110% isn't happening. Terry, I'm here. What's going on, bro? Hope you're well. Please smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. No notifications appear to have been sent out at all by YouTube for this stream, which is mad. 280 people watching. What is going on, YouTube? That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't even understand it. So madness. Legitimate madness. So I need you guys, your support, hitting that like and that share button, people. Why can't we play 4-1-2-3 with Fred as a cam and Bruno and Van der Beek together? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That wouldn't make any sense. Like, legitimately, it wouldn't make any sense to do that, bro. It wouldn't make any sense to do that, in my opinion, anyway. There we go. Thank you for sharing with all your WhatsApp groups. I appreciate that, people. There we go. On Ollie, let's jump into Ollie. Let's talk about Ollie now. Look, I keep hearing this on a continual basis. He's in danger. His job's under threat. Rare. I don't disagree with it. I think it is. Like, I truly think that it is under threat, that it could be. And by the way, if you want to phone up via Skype with the camera on, you can do. We should be able to add that to the stream now. That's what we've added in. Skype lines are open. The link, the information to call in is on the screen in front of you right down there. You can do that. We've got Dan, one of the first callers coming in tonight, who we're going to get on the air in a moment. But on Ollie, there was a lot of pressure put upon him after a win, but a poor win against West Brom at the weekend. He's got Istanbul tomorrow night, and then a really tough game against Southampton at the weekend. And again, more rumors circulating that his job's in danger. A bad result or two bad results, and he could be out the door. I want your views and your opinions on that. I can't help but think the fact that this keeps circulating, the fact that he keeps going around and around and around and around and around, that his job's under pressure, makes me nervous. And I don't know whether that's because, not I don't overly want Ollie to stay. I'm not sort of sitting there going, he has to stay no matter what happens. I just get frustrated at the lack of, that's what I'm looking for here, conviction from this board. I really do. We've got Dan on the line now. Dan, welcome to the Football Terrace. What do you want to say?
Evening, Terry.
Evening. What's on your mind?
So I saw on the caption Woodward's leaving. I think that's great news for United, to be honest, because the guy doesn't know anything about football. He's made so much wrong choices, decisions. It reminds me of our board, because I'm an Arsenal fan. It reminds me of our board, just not making the right decisions, not recruiting the right players. So if he leaves for you, I think it'll be massive news for Manchester United as a football club.
Yeah, listen, I understand that. My issue is, Dan, I don't think he's leaving. I don't know why this has been leaked. This story is just kind of weird. The only way he does is if he's landed himself a massive job somewhere else with huge commercial outputs for him. And my fear is, though, that we won't replace him with somebody that has the capability of making the Glazers as much money. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's this element of maybe he will leave, but I don't see us going out and bringing somebody in that's going to want to run us like football first. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to be fair, the journalist that did report it, he wasn't really reliable, was he? He only had like 2,000 followers on Twitter, so I don't know. But
look, I mean, that's one thing. It hasn't come from anybody else overtly credible. And there's this other side of me, and I am a bit of a conspiracy theorist when it comes to this. And I try not to be, but I can't help myself. I want to say this in the right way. They know that Ollie's under pressure. And again, a way of keeping Man United fans from having a pop at the board is to keep making us think, oh, a better manager is on the way in. A sporting director or a director of football is on the way in. Somebody else is going to come in that's going to be better than Ed Woodward. And I just don't trust these people. I legitimately do not trust them in any way, shape or form.
Do you trust the rumours about Edwin van der Sar and Mark Overmars coming to United, or do you think that's just utter rubbish?
I did a video on that, and when you read the story, they don't mention Man United. They just say that we both joined, and we said that we looked at doing a sort of 4 or 5 year period here, and that time's almost up. That's literally the story. There's nothing else to the story other than we've been here quite a while now, and mate, we kind of joined together. Maybe we'll leave together.
Terry.
Yeah.
Let me say something, because I'm an Arsenal fan as well.
Yeah.
I told you about Arteta, about the formation, the man management. Look, it's getting worse. 7 hours without a goal, man. I think he needs to go, man. Seriously.
There's going to be an Arsenal show tonight at 9 p.m. That's going to be brought up. I've said it before. I think he's got talent. I think he's got the ability to be a good manager, but he's in his fledgling time. And I think right now he's lost. He needs some guidance. He needs some experience around him, because Arsenal looked devoid of ideas. And yes, a few weeks ago you beat Man United and it was a good scalp. That's it. That's you got one win in your last 5 games, and your team's forgetting how to attack. The team's forgetting how to attack. There's no motivation.
It's not offensive.
It's awful. It's if I was an Arsenal fan right now, I would be genuinely fearful of what's going on. There's no doubt about that in my mind.
I'm terrified. Arsenal fans don't understand how screwed we are. We've got an owner who doesn't care, and a board who are clueless, a manager who I really don't think is ready, to be honest. Apart from 6 players from that Arsenal squad, the rest is garbage. I'm sorry to say. The fan base, they're acting like we're Arsenal from 2004. We're not good anymore. There's so much problems at this club, but fans are not seeing. Can you see it, Terry? I know you can.
Listen, I think your clubs are board level more so than they are player or manager level. I really, really do. And like I've said, I think your manager is struggling right now. Doesn't mean he can't turn it around. Doesn't mean he won't become a great manager. But what it says to me is you need your board to step up and help him and protect him. I said the same thing about Ollie. Ollie's a fledgling manager at the elite level. He's been 10 years in coaching, but he's never been at this point. I think he's drowning with the coaching staff that he's got. This is where if you have real football men and women on your board that understand the game, they step in and say, look, we are going to bring you somebody in 15, 20 years experience, maybe better with the technical side of things, maybe that can help you in this area of the game you're struggling with. He's renowned for this or she's renowned for that. Bring someone in to improve it. You're letting these managers just kind of struggle and fail. It's going to create animosity amongst the fans. It's ridiculous running of the football club. It really, really is. But, bro, I appreciate you coming on, Dan, having your say. Thank you. Trap King here with a super chat says, it's time to go, Ollie. Gunnar tie is what he said there. Next up on the show, we're going to have Russell, who's phoned in. Russell, welcome back to the Football Terrace. What do you want to say, my friend?
Hey, Terry.
How you doing?
Hey, bro. I'm all right, man. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so just wanted to touch on Ollie. I must say, first of all, shout out to the Brazos chairs at the back. Looking nice. Anyways, with Ollie, man, I feel like there's not enough representation for Ollie. And this is not one of those, oh, yeah, just back Ollie. You know me, I'm Ollie. It's not one of those just back Ollie conversations. But I wanted to ask you, what has Ollie done to even be put in the limelight for being sacked, according to you? Because I know you speak also for the channel, but as a United fan yourself, what has Ollie done to deserve this?
So it's really interesting, right? There's a few trains of thought here. So I listened to the unofficial pundit have a bit of a rant about how bad Bruno Fernandes is, and basically say that yes, he's scoring more goals than Pereira or Lingard, but Man United actually a better football team. And this is where football, I can totally understand people saying, and I've heard people say it, United have improved in the last 12 months. That is a fundamental fact. But I don't think Ollie's good enough to take us to that next level. I think we've reached our ceiling. I think that's a fair reason to sack someone. Whenever. Like, we're not going to get any better than we are now. We've maxed out. We've reached our actual limit. I don't think that's an unfair thing to say. Where I become frustrated is when I hear lies, when I hear nonsense, when I hear there's no system, there's no style, there's no coaching, like zero, none of it. Where I find it ridiculous and stupid and just ignorant, I hear comments about, oh, Bruno Fernandes coming to the team, how have we improved? And it's like, well, do you want facts or do you just want emotion? Because factually, since Bruno's been here, we've won 65% of the matches that he has played in, right? 34 games. Now, if you go back 40 games, I think it's about 40 to 45 games before that, from when Ollie was appointed permanent manager until Bruno Fernandes came in, our win ratio was 38 to 39%, meaning we've almost doubled our win percentage. Meaning, if you do, in case anyone needs explaining to their tiny little brains, we're winning almost double the amount of games, right? So instead of winning 3 to 4 games out of 10, we're now winning between 6 and 7 games out of 10. Doesn't mean you have to back Ollie. Doesn't mean you have to think that Bruno Fernandes is the best football player in the world. But to sit there and act like there hasn't been an improvement. And on Ollie, I always focus on this. It was mid-January. We'd lost back-to-back to Liverpool and Burnley. And everybody was focusing on that 38% win ratio since he became permanent manager. And he either had to improve or be sacked. This is where football fans let themselves down. Or not supposed to let themselves down, but you see the agenda loud and clear. And this is why what I now do is ask people, what does that improvement look like? Quantify it. And then I'll hold you to it as much as I hold the manager to it. So they all said he's got to win more games. Since then, only one manager in England and one team in England has a better win ratio than Ollie, and that's Liverpool. And yet it's still not good enough. So your question is so broad because I can understand people still not wanting him. But you know what's going to happen with Ollie? This is why I actually think it may not be a bad thing for him to go, because how they're treating Ollie at the football club, they go, sort of the public opinion of him isn't particularly great. Let's use this as an opportunity maybe to move him on because we're not quite happy with him. They will do it to the next manager when he comes under pressure. There's no backing of anything that goes on here. They're weathermen, they're windmen. Whatever way the wind is, the direction of the wind is, that is what they're going to focus on. But Man United fans are as big embarrassment as some Man United fans are as big an embarrassment to this club as the Glazers with their flip-flop attitude and they're sort of, you know, like some people have a never say die attitude. Some Man United fans are the opposite, where it's like, I'm never going to be a happy attitude. And it's just boring now, because every week there's something new to moan about. Every week there's something new to cry about. And it's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing.
My take on that, Terry, and I agree with everything you said, and that's how I look at it, man. And like, again, I know it's not going to be popular or anything. I really don't care. I'm a Man United fan. If we sack Ole right now, it's probably the worst thing we've done post Alex Ferguson. Forget Mourinho. If we sack Ole right now, after what he has done, the restructuring, the reculturization, everyone was calling for Mourinho's head because he didn't get Man United. Ole came in and he basically shipped out every single player that United fans were sort of disassociated with. The first player he shipped out was Fellaini, for Christ's sake. For that alone, he should get 10 years, according to some Man United fans. Yeah. Now, I thought Fellaini was a good player, but if you look at how the hate was on every manager who played Fellaini, Ole comes in, the first thing he does is do this. So the thing I see with Ole is this, yeah, like you said, people said, oh yeah, he has to improve. And in January, we had those 2 bad games, and after that, the run, etc., etc. The thing with Ole is people always set the standards for him, and then when he reaches them, it's sort of like they go into hibernation and wait until we run through a bad run of form again, and then they come out all guns blazing with no leeway whatsoever. And that's no way of supporting a manager, in my opinion. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was told he would never improve after that Burnley game. He went on the incredible unbeaten run. Even currently, when people passed, okay, let's talk about this season. The season is played about 10 games with 8 wins or 3 losses, a draw. Champions League, we're told, oh yeah, this is the group of death. All is top of that group. These are facts that people want, like.
And do you know what it is, bro? And this is the point. And sorry, you're breaking up a little bit, mate. And this is something I've noticed as well, right? Again, you can think he isn't good enough, but the more you do is this: the people in January that said he needs to improve, he's improved, and now it's like, yeah, actually, but I don't think he's ever going to be good enough. So then you set them the next question. So what does he have to do to prove to you that he's good enough? Now, if they say win a league title, they can't see their own moronic flaw in that statement. For him to win a league title, you've got to give him the time to do it. He can't just win it next week. He can't win a. So it's like, so what does he have to do? What your answer is, you're never going to get behind him. And I do. And you know what? That's why I respect Rance. The reason I respect Rance is because he just says that. I'm never backing him. A lot of the other people are flip-floppy. It's, I want him out, I want him out, I want him out, I want him out. What can he do to change your mind? They'll name you 3 or 4 things. If he does them, or what they do is they're like clandestine with it, right? So they'll say things that are never going to change, like about his personality or the way he talks. And it's like, bro, that's just stupid. That's a personal, like he's never going to change that. That's him as a human being. What do you want him to deliver for the football club? How many wins out of 10? Some of them have said, what if he has a 60-65% win ratio? Would you be happy? A year ago, they'd have gone, yeah, of course. And they're not now. But they're never going to be happy with him. And that's why his job's in danger, because this board will sack him when there's enough time. And the only thing that did save him was the fact that there were those results that he got after the first international break this year. And it kind of lessened the mood. And then by the time he went away again, it was poisonous again. And the problem is he's only ever 1 or 2 bad results away from losing his job. Yeah. And that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing, because it just literally means you're always on the edge. You're always on the edge of him being sacked, and it's no good. But Russell, listen, bro, I appreciate you coming on. Man like Mo is with us now. What you saying, Mo?
First thing first, yeah, I just want to say this, yeah. I know the board are the problem, yeah. We're not blind. I'm not blind to see that. You're not blind to see that. We've been talking about this for 2 years, yeah. But I just want to say, yeah, the smaller teams that we always end up like the West Brom game. I didn't even watch the game. I went to London. I didn't even watch the game. I went to London to see my family. I didn't even watch the game, yeah. But when I seen the full highlights, but I'm embarrassed to see the way we played against them. Is that how we're going to play? Relying on VAR all the time, penalty. Well, this is why people call us Barchester United. It's embarrassing, man. And I'm telling you this here and right now, yeah. We're talking about league. I don't even think if we had Roman in charge and Ollie here, we're not going to compete with Ollie in charge. I hate to say it. And I've just seen that evidence on that pitch on 2 days ago, yeah, that we can't compete with him in charge. He cannot If you can't beat the smaller teams, yeah, forget it. I'm confident going to PSG and win. I'm confident going to Man City and win. I'm confident going to Chelsea and win. I'm not confident going against the smaller teams, bro. It's always this freestyle football from Oli when it comes to the low block teams.
So,
Attack them, go for the net.
bro, listen. There's
Go
nothing.
for the net. No, I'll tell you,
Hang on,
it
Mo.
has.
Mo.
It has.
Mo.
It has got something to do with it.
What?
Because it's always VAR. Okay, when was the last time we beat the smaller teams this season without VAR? When was the smaller teams I'm talking about? When was the last time?
Newcastle.
Without VAR. Yeah, okay, that's one. How many often do you see us penalty? Is that how we?
And I get that, but if you let me just say something though, everything you've just said, I wasn't going to disagree with you. Everything you've said is right, but this isn't. This hasn't just been like this since Oli. This has been the same since Moyes. We have been in this same predicament since 2013. And this is why the bigger picture needs to be focused on, in my opinion. Man United haven't suddenly, under Oli, struggled against low block or struggled against smaller teams or become inconsistent. Man United haven't become inconsistent since Paul Pogba's played for us. Man United haven't been inconsistent up front since Martial has been here. Man United haven't become inconsistent or leaky at the back since Harry Maguire turned up. This is why I look at the bigger picture, Mo, because this has been going on for 8 years. Do yourself a favor. Go back and look at some historically bad results under Moyes, LVG, and Jose Mourinho. And look at all games before Rashford kicked the ball, Pogba kicked the ball, Maguire was here. So all those other managers, right? And just search those results and put in like full-time Devils fan cam, United stand fan cam, and listen to what's being said. It is an echo of now. And that should be, I don't care how intelligent or unintelligent you are, right? I don't care whether you're 10 or 100. From Manchester, London, Lagos, Sydney, Singapore. I couldn't care less. If you continually, right, see the same problems happen over an 8-year period with 4 different managers with 2 or 3 completely different squads of players, why would you focus on the easy options, the player and the manager? Why are we not looking bigger? Nobody, not one single person can answer that question. No one.
No, but do we need 400 million to be West Brom and
no,
Brighton?
No. But we've been but you're not answer my question, Mo. Answer my question on a real level. Under any other manager since Fergie, have we been beating the small teams easily? Under any other manager, have we been killing it season after season? Have we been consistent? You know, I think under Oli, we've won 3 or 4 games on the bounce in the Premier League just twice, maybe 3 times, right? Jose did it only 3 or 4 times. LVG, I think, did it twice. Moyes did it once. Like, this has been going on for 8 years. There is a systematic problem at the club with our attention to detail, our recruitment. I even think our drive as a football club to be brilliant on the football pitch. I'm telling you, at City, at Liverpool, at Brighton, at Tottenham, at these clubs, Southampton, there is a drive from that boardroom, from those owners, right through to every single player. We are here to try and be the best football team we can. Man United's drive, in my humble opinion, isn't that. And it's why. And people go, oh, you're scapegoating the board, you're scapegoating this person. I'm just sitting here, and what you've said, Mo, you phoned up and said about Jose. And what you've said, Mo, I heard people come on my show and say about LVG. And what you said, Mo, I stood there outside Old Trafford with Man United fans shouting down the microphone with Adam McCullough saying the same things about David Moyes. When are we going to wake up and smell the coffee that it's bigger than the manager and it's bigger than Pogba and it's bigger than Maguire?
It is. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. It is. But what I'm trying to say is, basically, first things first, the West Brom game, I'm not saying Man United easily would have won that. I even said we've struggled because these guys have not won a game, But if we're constantly relying on VAR all the time, it's my issue, Terry. That's my issue. Why can't we just go at their necks? Literally go for the throat. Why can't we? We lose with dignity. So what? It's football. We don't want to end up just relying on VAR all the time, bro. We might as well support Stoke City then, innit? That's what we are really if you're relying on this. Because they used to rely on penalties.
Bro, I hear you. I hear you. The differences between me and you is we both have a different solution for this. we need to look at changing the way the club is being run, because it's a motivational thing, bruv. What do you do for a living, Mo?
Yeah, I work for a company, innit?
Yeah, what though? What do you do? What does your company do?
I'm a mail sorter, innit? That's why I am, innit?
Okay, cool. But there's somebody that runs it. So your job is a great example, Mo. How your job is all about efficiency, because if you're late finishing the sorting of your mail, it goes out late, right? And then it gets delivered late and everything falls behind, right? Who keeps you on point? Who keeps you focused? Who makes sure that your job is, who's in charge of you?
The boss, innit?
Yeah. And then is there someone in charge of him?
There's someone, in charge of him.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, from top to bottom, there is I don't know what you call it, but is there like a service standard, a timing standard, an accuracy standard that you all have to adhere to? Certain things, everything has to be done by a set time, set day. Why? What's the reason for that?
There's a reason.
Like, I'm asking you to explain your profession. Like, for me, I'm talking out. I don't know your profession, but it's so people basically get their mail on time, right, and it's delivered as quickly as possible to a great standard. The Royal Mail service, if that's what you do, if it's Royal Mail, whoever it is, we don't need to name them, right? The point I'm making is you have a standard that you're trying to adhere to. If your boss and your boss's boss didn't care about that mail being delivered on time, didn't care if in the sorting office you were losing 20% of your letters or whatever it is, I bet you've got a threshold of how much you can and can't lose. I don't know. I would guess these things are in place. If they didn't care, would people in your work cut corners?
I'll go mad.
Right? And if they cut corners, how would that affect me as somebody expecting my letters to be delivered?
I'll be upset.
And that's my point. If Man United are not run to be the best football club, the most consistent football club, the best footballing team in the world, that from the middle, from the bosses, it's going to manifest itself on the pitch. And I don't blame the players. It's the same in every profession in the world. We've got Z on the line now as well. Z, what you saying, bro?
I'm good. How are you lot doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right, bro.
Yeah, I'm here for Mo. Do you know what's crazy, right, Mo? Thing is, everyone's quick to jump at Ollie's neck when Ollie is doing bad. But when this guy rarely gets praised when he's doing it. If it's freestyle football, why are these players not freestyling week in, week out? Why is it Ollie's fault? Why is it always on Ollie that Martial has been here for how long and still unable to we're still talking about his potential? Is it his fault that we're still talking about Rashford's potential? These are three players that have been through three different coaches. And then they produced both those players have produced their best seasons under Ollie. Ollie still don't get props for that. It's freestyle, or he's just telling them to go out there and play. Like,
how often do you rely on penalties against the smaller teams? How often?
The penalties still have to be won. Penalties still have to be won and tucked away.
Yeah, does it come from
penalties
open
still have to be won and tucked away, mate. You can't say we rely on penalties, because they still have to be won and put away. It's not like they still have to be won and put away. Right? We need to stop. People need to stop ignoring that fact.
But is that from open play, or is it from handballs?
This is what I'm trying to say, bro. I'll be honest with you. The penalty thing, right? Only reason why United fans get agitated about it is because it comes from rival fans, Fernandes and everything. They don't like hearing it. You give Arsenal, you give Chelsea, you give Liverpool, you give Man City, Tottenham penalties, and they win the league. You think us United fans are gonna say you only won it by penalties? Can't you see it's only rivals? And it's the same fans that bring our own fans saying, "Oh, we're based on penalties," or "We win by penalties." You're letting the rivals get under your skin, and that's the only reason you're bringing this argument to the table. Because the penalties have to be won while our players getting fouled, because we are very offensive. That means we're attacking much more than we're attacking under any other manager, and we're gaining penalties. But those penalties still have to be put away.
Yeah, I agree with you, but it's not just rival fans that are saying it; it's our fan members that are saying it.
Yeah, but our fans members are saying it because the rival fans are speaking. I remember watching United under Fergie and getting battered by Middlesbrough. Right? I remember watching United under Fergie and getting beaten by teams like Bolton and losing in League Cup matches. And I remember these things. People act like these things are forgotten. Like everyone wants to forget all of these things and put on Ollie and say so on. You know, I seen Arsenal praising Arteta for everything Ollie had done. Right? Everything Ollie had done, And Arteta started doing it. Arteta copied exactly what Oli done. Came in, beat the big six, and had a great start. You still
do you know what I think? Do you know what I'll say as well, Z? What I find interesting is there's bits of what you say, Mo. I get. I want to beat some more of these lesser teams by bigger margins, as an example. There's no doubt about that. But these Man United fans are never happy. Like I said, I watched the unofficial pundit say yesterday, and I was
fuck that guy, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but listen, the way you're talking now is on a similar thread. Like I listened to this guy speak, and he was like, apart from goals and assists, which are the main attributes of an attacking midfielder, how has Bruno Fernandes improved Man United? He loses the ball too much. And this is a new thing. It's the first time in my footballing life I've seen football fans and now professionals talk about ball retention of creative and attacking players. The irony, and this is what's stupid about it, when people say United are really bad and they throw some arbitrary stat out without showing you how we compare to our rivals, right? Because Bruno Fernandes does lose the ball on average 25 times per game, but KDB averages 24 times per game. Hakim Ziyech averages so far this season 26 times per game. Over the last 3 years, Trent Alexander-Arnold, the most creative player at Liverpool, averages a loss of possession 23 times per game. If you go and look through every elite level football player in one of the top 4 leagues in Europe, the guys with the high levels of assists and goals from those midfield creative hub positions, or in Trent's example, where I think most of the creative, it does come from the fullbacks, they're losing the ball. One sec, bro. They're losing the ball to that degree. So what that tells you is something very, very obvious for anyone who's thinking objectively here, is the rate of which Bruno's losing the ball is very, very normal. And the irony is this: when you look at the players in those attacking roles that are losing it 8 times, 9 times, 10 times per game, they're barely creating opportunities. And that was the same for Lingard and Pereira. They weren't losing the ball to the same degree. They were losing it about half the amount of time that Bruno was. But Bruno Fernandes has already scored and created more goals than them two in the last 34 games than them two managed 3 seasons to put together. Add all them up. So for me, lose the ball more. If it means we're going to create more, that's how we're going to win. What Man United actually need is more players, 1 or 2 more of their attacking players, taking more risks, going for it, not looking for the easy option to pass the ball back on the inside. That's why we're struggling. And for me, it's a mentality thing. And the reason I focus on the board is our lack of mentality, our lack of wanting to win stems from our club not wanting to be the best. It gives people an out, in my opinion. Z, you were going to say something, bro?
Yeah, like I said, I question the board, but also question the mentality of these players. And like I said, a lot of people talk about these stats. It's good that you bring up these stats. And I had a debate with someone earlier, right? They were saying, oh, stats is killing football. And I said, okay, remember when Arsenal fans said Henry should have won the Ballon d'Or when Nedved won it? What argument did they bring? He had the most of goals and most assists. Okay, is that not a stat? Yeah. Is that not a stat? And this is what my point being is that there's a lot of people, when they like to use stats when it favors their players. I've seen a lot of people flip-flop. This season, everyone's attacking KDB, saying KDB, Jack Grealish is better than KDB. Everyone wants to attack KDB based on what's going on now. Football fans are so bipolar.
But there's a comment here. There's a comment here that says, you a stat padder. He gets goal. I don't know if his you means, because he gets goals and assists. They won't matter though if his mistakes make you lose points. Show me the evidence of that. Like the thing with these comments, right, that people make, this is what annoys me about them. Like, I can show you evidence of passes and goals and chances created by Bruno as an example, and KDB, who lose the ball about the same amount of times as each other at the elite level, that have won games for their team, got opening goals for their team, and dragged their team back into games. Case in point, both those players, before the international break, got their teams back into games against Everton and Liverpool, respectively. Show me the examples of where them losing possession is causing them major problems. And at the same time, show me the highly creative players who are continually unlocking teams to the level and rate that these two do, and they're the best 2 in the Premier League, factually. Show me people that are losing it less, considerably less, and creating the same amount as them. You're just not going to be able to find. And by the way, not 1, not 2. Find me the body of work that says they are losing the ball at an astronomically high level. And do you know why it has to be astronomically high level? Because you're making it sound like what they're doing is wrong, bad for the team, and abnormal. And do you know what's interesting? We know where this stems from. This stems from that biased place of two areas. One, rival fans looking for a reason to put Bruno Fernandes down because they know for one of the first times in 8 years, we've actually bought a star player that's performing. And by the way, if every other player in this Man United team was delivering and doing their job to the same degree as Bruno, and by the way, every job's different. You know, a central midfielder like Fred, you don't want him losing the ball 25 times a game. A central defender, you don't want him losing it 25 times per game. So let's put things into perspective. But if they were all delivering to Bruno's level, respective of their position on the pitch,
100%.
would be flying this season. Bruno's being attacked by rival fans that don't want him to be seen as good as he is, and then by a percentage of Man United fans who just don't like the fact that he's loved more than Paul Pogba. And it rattles them. They're rattled by the fact that Bruno gets more love than Paul Pogba. And it's really sad because I love Bruno Fernandes. I love what he brings from a technical point of view. And I love the tenacious energy. Do you want to know how you know these people are fake? The same people that slagged him off this weekend they didn't notice something about his performance, which I didn't mention it on Saturday because I was frustrated with the team. But do you remember when we played Tottenham and Martial got himself sent off? And what you'll find, a lot of Pogba lovers are also part of Martial FC as well. Martial got sent off, but who were they more angry with in that sending off? In the sending off scenario, do you remember who the fans were more angry with?
Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire. Why? Because he didn't surround the referee and scream and shout and show passion. These are the same people that say, I don't want passion merchants. But then at the weekend, Bruno concedes a penalty. Now, maybe, just maybe, it would have got overturned anyway. But the way he was in that referee's face, screaming, shouting, telling him, go check, I touched the ball. Like, there was no praise for that. And do you know what it is? Because these people are flip-flops. These people's principles, ideals, and integrity changes based on who the player is. And right now, and I do it with the manager, I'm consistent with Ollie in the sense of, I don't know if he's good enough to make us win a Premier League title, but there's this part of me that doesn't think anything's going to change by sacking the manager. There are some really weird fans. There were Man United fans messaging me today that always tell me that Ollie's the biggest problem. It's not really the board. They're getting excited about the fact that Woodward might be leaving. I'm like, bro, why are you excited about Woodward leaving if he's not that much of a problem?
The biggest problem. That's the problem. It's so you can't choose when you want to be on one side of the fence and on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, you either want a player to show passion or you don't. You either praise the player for showing passion or don't. The difference is you pick and choose when you want to use it. And the same with Ollie. Ollie's got to win more games. He's doubled his win ratio to 65%. No one in the Premier League's got a better win ratio in the last 30. By the way, this is the thing. It's 40 games right now. Our win percentage is, by the way, over 65%. That's a whole season.
Okay.
And when, it's a whole season at 65%. Do you know how high that is? My question to people that don't like Ollie is, when will he be good enough for you? What has he got to do? Is it how he wins? And by the way, if you state how he's got to win games, if he starts doing that, are you going to change your mind? I don't think so. You man are just crazy. You guys are just setting Man United players and managers out to foul because you're not real Man United fans. You're fake. You're fake.
Terry, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Terry, I just don't want to touch on what you just mentioned Woodward there literally less than a minute ago. What about him? What about him leaving? Who said they're leaving?
Newspapers.
It's on the Daily Express. It's all over the place.
All right, okay. You're gone.
It's all over the place.
Unless I see it happen, then I ain't believing it. So, but all right.
Yeah,
no,
of course.
and I hear you on that. Like, I just say, right, the irony as well, people say to me, Terry, man, you're just accepting mediocrity with Ollie. Yo, I'm more than happy for us to sack him and bring in a better manager. I want my club to be successful. You're missing the point because you're even...
I know what you mean, Terry. I know what you mean. Let me try to... I know what you mean. Look, yeah. I don't think sacking Ollie, yeah, will change anything, yeah. I admit that, yeah. I don't think it's gonna make us win Premier League titles because you still got two fucking morons in charge, innit, yeah? Above him, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, yeah, I think some people, yeah, are not happy with what they're seeing against the smaller teams. You see, I'm coming from. Like, I think, I checked Poch. You told me to check this. I checked Poch against the top six, yeah. His record is terrible.
Yeah.
And you said that as well. But against the smaller teams, yeah, he beats them hands down. Mainly he beats them. You know what I mean? Some he loses, and most of the wins comes from against the smaller teams. I think that's what they are. That's what they want to see improved. You know what I mean? From Ollie. That's what I think they want to see improved.
And bro,
so
I hear you. And if Poch comes in, I'm happy, right? But I also have reservations. His win percentage at Tottenham with a better team than Man United have got was only 55%, 10% worse, which means he will lose 1 extra game in 10 compared to Ollie in the last 12 months. His record against the top 6, which by the way, is going to be different. This is where Man United fans crumble under banter. Man United fans crumble when their rivals laugh at them because too many of these men have got weak jaws, bro. Yeah. Weaker than my hairline, bro. Proper weak. If Poch's win percentage against the top 6 doesn't improve, it will be banter central. And what you'll see from these fans very quickly is the snap. You'll see them switch it up. You'll see the switch, the switch flicked, and you'll start to see these same conversations. And this is the way around it will go. Clip this up and save it. And it'll be from the same man. Oh, it's all well and good beating the small teams, but if you don't beat the big ones, we can't go on to bigger and better things. How are we meant to win the Champions League if we can't beat the big teams? Rare. Now, I hope Poch beats those teams. I hope Poch does everything. But these people will find something wrong with Poch if we're not winning titles inside 18 months. They don't have the stomach to wait for a genuine, true rebuild. Secondly, this ball's going to throw him under the bus at some point anyway. At some point anyway, they're going to do that to him. But you know, one of my favorite things is going to happen with a lot of the guys that love Poch, that hate, a lot of the people that hate Ollie, also don't like Rashford, don't like Scotty Mack, don't like Maguire. I can't wait for Poch to come in and use those man regular. He's going to do it. He will use those people on a regular basis, and I can't wait to see it.
He'll use McTominay. He likes players that press. And this is the things that people want to ignore. Like, it's just, for me personally, I think if we're going to sack Ollie, let's sack him now, because I personally believe this is our best chance of winning the league this year because of the inconsistency. But as long as we have this board in charge, we're not going to go nowhere. But my thing is, as well, is United fans, we need to stop being bullied by rivals who aren't really doing nothing. Like, Arsenal fans cannot talk to me. No offense, they cannot talk to me. They are just a piece of, my language. They can't talk to me. The only fans I really take criticism from is actually Chelsea. And Man City don't have fans, so I can't speak to them. So, and Tottenham, they're okay. But the only fans I can really have a conversation with would be Chelsea and Liverpool, who can actually come and box with me. Man United fans are crumbling to fans who have nothing to show. You wouldn't talk to someone without a car about a Ferrari when you've got a Ferrari. Like, you can't. It don't make sense.
It's I see that a lot in life. I used to go to the pubs quite a bit in the East End when I was younger. And when you were younger, I used to listen to, there's a lot of older men in there, right? And you'd listen to them because I was like 18, 19. You thought, these guys are 30, 40. You'd listen to their advice a little bit. One of the dumbest mistakes I ever made. Right? I used to listen to the advice of some of the guys on the council estate when I was even younger than that. Like, do this and don't do that. Do this. When I started getting older and looking, I was like, these guys are half unemployed bums. Why am I taking career advice from someone that can't hold down a job? But you do, because you know no different, bro. And this is the thing with it. Like, the reason why my football mind, someone here actually makes a good point. Terry, on Saturday, you were ranting about wanting Ollie out. Terry now bringing up irrelevant stats to back Ollie. You're not listening to me then. You're not listening to me now. The majority of my frustration at the weekend was Man United. It was Man United you're making me look this way, as opposed to not necessarily being Ollie. Ollie was partly accountable for that weekend result, same as the players. But if you listen to what I said in the rant, it's been 8 years. The same as what I'm saying now. Living in cloud cuckoo land, that sacking Ollie or selling Paul Pogba or benching Bruno because he gives the ball away too much is going to make us a better football team. You're mad. And Saturday was a prime example of that. Pogba missing, still inconsistent. If Pogba would have played, we may still have been inconsistent. It's a club issue. And for some reason, football fans think that football is almost the kind of the exception in the world of industry, where if you're not run well by the people ultimately in charge, you're still going to produce good results. Find me a business that's run poorly that yields good financial results and is equally respected by its customers? You ain't going to find it. Like, you'll find companies that make good money, but people hate them, like double glazing. Do you know what I mean, right? You'll find that, but find me all three things. Find me a business that's run impeccably, makes good profits, and everyone loves working for them and or using them as a product, right? But they're run badly. But under it, they're run poorly. So let me say that again. Make money, everyone loves working there, everybody loves the company. But they're run poorly by the people that own it, by the people at the core. Find it. You won't find it. And by the way, at Man United, you know who really loves working for Man United? All the men in the financial departments, all the people in the commercial departments, because that's their drive. That's the most important thing at the football club. And the players know that. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, it's in their minds. That seed of doubt is there. My owners don't care about us being the best. Why should I? No matter how hard they work in training and whatnot. You look at Leeds United as an example. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Bielsa's style. I think it's, when I say it's too cavalier, maybe for the quality of player that he's got. I know Leeds fans will hate me saying that, right? But at the end of the day, Bielsa goes into a club and it's like, you're going to run it this way or I'm leaving. Now, the owners have got a choice. You either run it that way where football comes first or you don't. Have the guy you want. Liverpool Football Club. It's all about making Liverpool Football Club the best football team in the world. Chelsea, it's all about winning the title. Tottenham, it's all about trying to become champions of England. That's their focus. Everything else, the Amazon deals, the sponsorship deals, the TV deals, that's all secondary to the football. At Man United, I bet you at 10 a penny. I bet you every penny I've got that in that boardroom, number one target is how do we grow revenue? How do we make more profits? How do we get more dividends? How do we sell more shares? That is their driver. That is their driver as a football club. And until that stops, we are never getting back to the top. And we can blame Ollie, the next manager. We can blame Pogba, the next midfielder that comes in and replace. We can do it. In 10 years, we'll still be sitting here doing the same thing that Arsenal fans have been doing since 2004. Players and manager and player and manager and player and manager. Nothing gets better when you're run poorly. Why can they not see this? And it's just absolutely infuriating.
No, it's true. I agree. It makes a lot of sense.
So what we do, Terry? What do we do with the board? What do we do with the other fans? What we do to
Mate, there's nothing. Do you know what? There's nothing we. Do you know why there isn't nothing we can do really? Because Man United fans don't care. Man United fans are just like, oh, it's too much. It's too much hard work. The ones who'll do something are actual true fans that love the club. The ones that say can't get rid of them, there's no point. They don't love the club deep enough. There isn't a love for the football club. What they loved was, United used to, it was a social status being a Man United fan. You better go to school, and I'd be looked at as I'd go on holiday. Who do you support? I'm a Man United fan. Everyone goes, oh, wow, brilliant team. That's all you supported the club for. It was a social status.
Yeah, I work with someone that's a season ticket holder, yeah? Let me tell you this. This is the football. He said, I renewed it. And I said to him, and he loves Ollie, but he hates Glazers and Woodward, yeah? You're just as bad as them. You know why? Because you renewed it. And that basically, I swore at him. I told him, then in that case, you're their bitch. That's what you are.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that, right? And it's so weird. I disagree with that. The season ticket thing, I disagree with. Like, okay, buying shirts and merch, I agree with. But being a season ticket, I disagree with that because you're going to buy a season ticket to support the players. When they go on the field, do you think they care about Woodward or anything? They're going there to support the players. They could hate the players that they're going out there to support, but the simple fact that they're there, they are still going out there to support. I disagree with the season ticket thing. Like I said, us United fans, the best way for us to actually move, and KG the comedian came up with a brilliant way for us United fans to get rid of our board. And it's just like I said, it just shows you. I don't care how many followers you have on social media. I don't care how important you think you are. I don't care if you've got a blue tick, green tick, red tick, whatever. You show your true colours when you don't want to be a part of a shit that wants to drive the Glazers out.
Bro, how many people are gonna go there? How many people are gonna go there? The amount of fans.
It don't have to go be a physical protest where people have to go out. There's platforms out there that are big enough, if we united, which could start an agenda to get the Glazers out. You don't have to go out there with with banners and everything. Just as simple as social media has one of the biggest impacts in the world right now. You can actually see it. So you think of all of these people promoting it on their platforms, and all of these people getting the followers and the subscribers to also follow the same agenda. Do you honestly think that won't make an impact?
Mate, I had this conversation. Obviously, I reached to KG, the comedian, and I backed it, and I said I'd be involved. And he told me this straight, that not one other person he reached out to even replied to him. And that just tells you, at the time anyway, since then maybe people have, but at the time when we sent each other messages, and that for me is testament to the fact people don't care. Now, my view different on it. I think there's a lot of people that wouldn't give up a season ticket, but there's two big reasons they won't give season tickets. Like, one, for some people, it's all they have. It's literally going to Man United is all they have in their lives. So I get it. The second element is, but what if I give my ticket up? We get rid of the Glazers after 2 years, or we get the changes that we want, right? There is a happy medium. And then I can't get my ticket back because someone else gets it. I do get that train of thought. Imagine you had a ticket, brilliant seats, 20 years. I'm going to give it up in protest. You get what you want. You're like, yes. You go back to United, go, yeah, you're back on a 4-year waiting list, bro. Like, there's that element of, again, what needs to happen is, and this is about having supporters trust involved around, is there a way of guaranteeing me getting that back if I want it back? Like, I don't know. And this is the problem with it. Like, I get those things are hard to kind of maneuver, but like, we can all see that these people are sapping this club dry. They're going to take another £8 million dividends in January after all the money we've lost through no match day revenue. Another 8 mil, bruv. That would fix the roof at the club that's leaking on fans' heads. Like, mad. It's mad. Listen,
how much is it to get Poch in?
Mate, well, it's free now because there's nothing to pay him. But there we go. Listen, everyone who's tuned in this evening, thank you very, very much as always. Do me a big favor and hit the like button and share button. 9 p.m. tonight, Adam Charles and the Arsenal Show are back talking about the Gunners and their abysmal run of form that they're on. So make sure you're tuning in. Hit that like and share button. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon.